you don't actually have to work hard to get what you want. I bet if I ask you to think about the thing you've been wanting the most, but you don't have it yet, you're going to start thinking things like, it's because I'm not working hard enough. It's because I'd have to do hard things that I don't want to do in order to get it, or that would take forever to get. But what if I told you that you thinking you have to work hard is the reason you don't have what you want yet? In fact, getting what you want through hard work and struggle only creates more feelings of struggle, which not only makes you a magnet to more things that will make you feel like you're struggling, but if you're having to use force to get what you want, that's a dead giveaway sign from the universe or your higher self that you are on the wrong path for you. Not because you're being punished or because life is without challenge, but because the right path for you to get what you want is not going to feel like you're having to push or force. Despite what hustle culture would have you believe, there is a way to get exactly what you want without the grind, working hard, or doing things you hate. So today, I'm going to share with you, first of all, why working hard is not the way to get what you want, and two, how to get what you want without working hard. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Jessie Riemann. Here are today's video chapters, and if you would like to work with me so that I can help you become an absolute magnet for all of your desires and to become the happiest, healthiest, most confident version of you so that you get the glow up you've always wanted without the hustle and the grind, you can sign up for one of my coaching packages in the description box below. All right, so let's start out with why hard work is not the answer to getting what you want. We think we need to work hard to get what we want because we've been told it all our lives. We've all seen plenty of examples of people working really hard to get what they want, working long hours, losing out on sleep, skipping meals, eating low calories, doing 2 or 3 workouts a day in the fitness industry. We, of course, see it in school. I mean, hell, we see hard work glorified in our culture, and it's really taught in so many ways as the only way to get what we want. We see celebrities, CEOs, social media influencers, health gurus, fitness professionals with rock hard bodies, all saying that they got where they are purely because of hard work. So it's really no wonder that most of us think that the way to get what we want, especially the things we want the most, that we're not getting easily, it's no wonder that we think the reason we don't have it is because we need to work harder. Now, there are 2 things we're not seeing behind the scenes in all these situations where people say that they've gotten what they want with hard work. Now, the first of which, I'd like to start by quoting one of my really good friends who said something to me probably a year maybe ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. And what she said was, some of the people you're looking at, that you're admiring, who have what you want, got there through flow, but it may not look like it to you. It may look like it was hard work. Now, we're going to come back to that in just a moment, but the second thing that we're not seeing behind the scenes is the people who pushed and forced and hustled and worked hard to achieve their goal, to get maybe where you want. Do you know how well they're doing behind the scenes? Do you know how well their health is doing? Do you know how good their energy is? Do you know if they're sleeping? Do you know if they're taking things to get where they are? And what I mean by that is unhealthy or extreme things. Do you know if they're in mountains of debt? Do you know if they're having relationship failures? Do you know if they're suffering from depression or anxiety? Do you know if they even have good self-esteem? Because many times when we do have the opportunity to peek behind the curtain of people who are pushing, forcing, hustling, working hard to get what they want, many of the things that I just listed are not going so well for them. And I speak from experience. And any of you who have tried to go about getting what you want through hard work and hustle will absolutely relate. You'll look back and see, oh yeah, during that time, my energy sucked. I did not feel good about myself. I was not taking care of myself. I was not sleeping well. My relationships weren't doing well. My point is that there were things behind the scenes that weren't going well, but maybe to people on the outside, It may have looked like you or the person you're looking up to was successful, but in reality, they weren't. You weren't. Hustling, working hard, pushing, forcing, grinding, that kind of energy leads to you being out of alignment. And that only leads to even more things that make you feel like you're gonna have to work even harder and keep pushing and keep hustling, because that's the same energy you've gone into it with. And if it feels like you're having to force in order to get what you want, that's the universe's way of gently, sometimes it doesn't feel so gentle, trying to guide you down a different path, but you're not listening. Because again, we go back to what I said in my last video. I'm going to go ahead and link that up here for you somewhere, that talks about when you try to force the outcome of how something is supposed to happen for you, you're getting in the way of the universe, who has an infinite amount of ideas and possibilities of how things can come to you. And the universe knows the absolute best way, your higher self, God, whatever you like to call it, just want to throw that out there, knows the absolute best way for you to make it happen, to get you what you want. But every single time that we're trying to say, no, it has to happen this way, I'm going to have to work harder because that's how this person got it. That's not necessarily the way that it's right for you, the best way for you. But whenever it's, like I said, feeling like you're having to force it, you automatically know, hey, I'm on the wrong path. Now, coming back to the first thing that we're not seeing behind the scenes, when I mentioned to you that some of the people you have watched get exactly what you want, and it might have looked to you like they were getting there through hard work, may actually have been there, at least some of them, through flow. And what I mean by that is they were fully in alignment. And when I say flow, I mean that whatever they were doing felt so good to them that time passed by so easily that it didn't feel like hard work to them. But if you're trying to copy their exact path, thinking that's the way it's going to have to happen for me, but it feels like pushing and forcing to you, then you're not meant to experience it the exact same way that that person was. Which means that instead of copying that person, you've got to focus on getting in alignment so that you get into flow, and then it feels much easier and much more enjoyable in the process of getting what you want. So again, if you would like me to help you to get in alignment so that you become a magnet to all of your desires without having to work so hard to get what you want, that's exactly what I do in my coaching packages. Okay, so let's now talk about how to get what you want without having to feel like you're working hard. So first things first, if you want to get what you want without feeling like you have to work hard to get it, you've got to start by changing your thoughts. Now we're all thinking all day anyhow, right? But if most of those thoughts are negative toward what it is that you want, then not only are you going to continue looking for proof that that is true, that it's not working out, that it's hard, that you have to do all these bad, negative, hard things in order to get it, but you're also going to create a subconscious program that says that you can't have it or that it's hard for you. And once you've created that subconscious program, you're just going to keep seeing more evidence that it's hard to get what you want, that you don't have what you want. And in general, you're going to see that life is much harder because your most dominant thoughts make you a magnet to more things that are on the exact same energy vibration as those thoughts. If you want to hear me talk more about that, again, watch my last video. I go into that in a whole lot more detail. My most favorite way for doing this, because I personally think it is the easiest because it has to do with changing our thoughts, is through affirmations. Now, that is not you just doing 10 affirmations in the morning and wondering why things aren't changing for you, because what are you thinking the rest of the day? Again, your most dominant thoughts around what you want, around anything in general, is what you're going to get more of. And if you are changing your thoughts from the old negative limiting belief patterns that you've had for a long time, you got to give it a little time for the new thoughts to sink in and for you to start seeing them show up in your 3D reality. However, the more you say, where's my proof? It's not working, then you continue to affirm that it's not working for you. And then the more you do that, how is anything going to change, right? So we really have to start by changing our thoughts. And that means, first of all, making sure that you stay aware of whatever you're thinking about whatever it is you want, so that any negative thought that pops up, you can say to yourself, I can't think like this anymore. Otherwise, I'm continuing to program this into my subconscious mind. And for those of you specifically who are looking to do things like heal from an illness, chronic pain, or weight loss, or you want weight loss, I want you to watch my video, How Your Thoughts Become Your Body. That one's going to explain to you exactly how this process works if you want to understand that better. But secondly, you have to persist in those new thoughts toward what you want instead of what you don't want, no matter what your 3D reality shows you. Because things aren't the way they are right now because you thought some negative thoughts a few times and then it happened overnight. This is months, likely years of the same negative thoughts over and over and over about what you made your circumstances mean. And now it's kind of hardened into belief, not hardened in the sense that you can't change it, but that's why it feels like it's so difficult to change. So you got to persist in this new way of thinking over and over and over until you start seeing what you want. And then it will just sort of become autopilot. You won't really have to think about it that hard. For those of you who've been here for a long time, that originally came here for eating disorder recovery, you know how hard it is at first to believe that you can eat whatever you want and still be healthy and have, and lose weight, right? Well, in the beginning, yeah, just like you, it was extremely hard. I didn't believe it, which is an important point. You do not have to believe your affirmations for them to work. You don't have to believe this new way of thinking. But the more times I did and the more consistent I was, not only did I really start to believe what I was saying, I saw the results, and now I don't have to remind myself to think like, oh, Jesse, you can eat whatever you want and be healthy. It's now my belief system. So it will eventually become your autopilot way of thinking as long as you persist. And the other thing you gotta do is do more things more often that bring you peace and joy and relaxation and a true feeling of rest and recovery. You got to do those things more often because, again, not only does that make you a magnet to what you want, but it's also going to get your mind off of thinking about what you don't want, thinking about the negative all the time, because it can become so easy to stay saturated in that negative thinking because it's become so easy. And then every time you see a circumstance in your 3D say, oh, it's not working, oh, here's more of the old. When we put our focus on that all the time, we're going to end up thinking about it more. So you got to make sure you're altering your thinking, but then also be doing things that not only are getting your mind off of that so that you're actually experiencing the joy and the peace and the relaxation that you're looking for. But I promise you, the more you do this, you're going to start seeing a whole lot more of those kind of things showing up in your life. And then you will be a magnet to getting exactly what you want, because you're in flow, because you're a magnet to it, and you will not have had to work hard to get it. The last thing I want to say that happens that I think I mentioned like 2 videos ago is that when you are doing it this way, when you're doing more things that you really enjoy, that are fun, that also, like I said, some of the time bring you relaxation, and you're making sure that you are changing your thinking so that your subconscious mind program changes, you are going to start to get new ideas. You're going to get inspiration. You're going to be inspired to do things that you would not have done from the old version of you through that old limiting negative program. And that means that the things that sound good to you, that you get inspired to do, are going to feel good to you, and you're going to be in flow. So it won't feel like you're having to push, hustle, force, or work hard to get what you want. And then by the end of it, you're going to see, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of getting what I want that way. So remember, one of 2 things is going to happen if you try to work really hard or to force in order to get what you want. Either 1, you're not going to get it at all because you're not in alignment with it. Or 2, the entire process is going to be filled with things like stress, exhaustion, burnout, and anxiety. And once you have it, it's not going to feel as good as you thought it would, because the same way that you got there through all that stress and anxiety, etc., is basically the way you're going to feel once you have it. So instead of that, remember, make sure that you are changing your thoughts so that we change that limiting negative program in your subconscious mind to one that believes that not only is it possible for you, but that you already have it. And get into alignment with what you want by doing more things that bring you the same feelings of having it, such as joy and fun and relaxation and peace, so that not only do you become a magnet to the energy of even more things that are on the exact same energy vibration as what you want, but you become a magnet to what you want. And as a byproduct, you will have new ideas, new inspirations. You will want to do things that feel natural to you, that feel so easy, that get you in the flow and that not only get you what you want, but you're enjoying the process the whole time without ever having to push, force, hustle, or work hard to get it. So I trust and intend with all my heart that this video helped you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out tremendously because it tells YouTube to get these videos out to more people so that I can help people exactly like you. You are worthy. You are remarkable. I love you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.